Waking up. I'm here at a wrestling tournament. My 14-year-old son, he's in and he's doing wrestling, and we got here really early. And those of you parents that have children that are in sports know that you got to get here early, and sometimes you're here for a couple of hours before they even start um the wrestling tournament. But I just wanted to talk to you guys for a few moments because I'm sitting here in my car and I ain't got nothing else better to do until this tournament starts. Well, actually, I do have something better to do. I could study for my test on Monday, and I will do that in just a little bit. But I just wanted to talk about this natural disaster that has hit California with these storms. It makes you realize that you are so small in this big world. Um, I am still shocked and amazed how Westcliff sidewalk at the end of Woodrow is completely gone. Um, it will never be the same. Um, I'm I wonder if it's going to turn into a one-way. Those of you guys who are familiar with Santa Cruz County and the east side of where Capitola is, East Cliff. A long time ago, that used to be a two-way, but it seems as though it's a one-way now. I think that's what's going to happen. I wonder what's going to happen to the houses if people are going to. I wonder what's going to happen. It just shows you, like, I understand that the cliff could definitely get damaged by, or what, I don't know what the correct term is. What is that term, Mike? I'm sure you know. Erosion, is that what it's called when the ocean um cuts down, like, the you don't know what that is? I feel like I'm gonna have to Google it. But anyways, yeah. You don't even know what day it is. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. Okay. Okay, so what else did I put in the title? I put in the title sobriety and sports mom and inventory and reflection. So I guess I want to talk a little bit about recovery. So the difference between me being a recovered sports mom next to being an alcoholic sports mom is that I am not worried about how much alcohol or any alcohol bringing it to the games. That's a change, and that's freedom right there. When I think about how I used to drink at football games and little league games and all kind of games, and I pretty much brought the bar with me. I never, not saying that it was okay. I never got in a fight with another parent at a game, but I was under the influence many times at a game. And so it feels good to be that mom that's able to offer her son's friends a ride to the weigh-in that's out of town, not be the mom that's, oh, he's calling me right now. son just called me, and he just told me that he just weighed in, and usually when they weigh in, they don't wrestle for like hours later. I could seriously go back home, grab some eyelash glue, grab some snacks. Yeah, grab another energy drink. We'll see. So, yeah, where was I? So, yeah, it there is definitely a newfound freedom, like it says in the promises, a newfound freedom and a newfound happiness with sobriety. Because when you're an alcoholic, I can just speak for alcoholics, maybe and or addict, all you're really thinking about is how you can stay well, how you can stay well. That's the best way I can describe it. And you're not really available for anybody else. You're just doing the bare. I was always doing just the bare minimum, and I was always agitated. And I was highly agitated because I was always anticipating the next drink. That's a horrible feeling to have to anticipate the next drink. Oh, here he's calling me again, you guys. I'll be back in just a second. Hold on. Oh, okay. I'm like, oh, Craig, Micah. I just said I'm live, and I totally forgot that I was live, and I'm not like talking on the phone. So I was like, hello, when I got back on. Isn't that funny? Um, I don't know. I have such a good parking spot though. I'm like, should I leave right now? Do you want to go back home and then come back at 10? We would literally have to leave here at, or we would have to leave Santa Cruz at, I don't know. Okay. Great. So you start at 10? Does it start at 10 or do you wrestle at 10?
Wrestle at 10.
You start wrestling at 10. Because I don't know.
They're gonna like start the sequence. It's gonna take a little bit. They're gonna go over the rules.
Yeah, I'll come back at 10.
Okay.
Okay. Is that cool? Is that enough for you, or do you want me to get you
This is fine, thank you.
something else?
It's fine.
Does your friend have water too?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Did you get both of them?
I have 6 waters.
You have 6 waters on you?
Yeah, and it's just me and Max.
Nobody else from your group was going?
Mm-mm.
You're not even your coach?
No, my coach is here. Yeah.
Your coach is here.
Yeah.
Okay. So not Amadeo?
No, he's at his grandma's and Brody's out of town, and Ethan's just lazy.
And Ethan's not going. Okay.
Yeah.
Are they, well, you don't know if they're collecting. It doesn't matter. I'll be back at 10 because I want to record you.
Okay.
And I'll see you that's enough money?
Yeah.
Are they have some? Oh, you already have some? Mm-hmm. And you still took some money from me? Okay.
We're trying to save money.
All right, you're trying to save money. I see. Well, I want to go home and charge up my phone, and so pretty much we'll go home and we'll stay for like 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Did you want to sit back there? Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't need to, it's not necessary. So where was I at? Okay. What's up, sweetie? No, honey. I don't know where you're getting that sense of humor for that. You've been watching too much TikTok, okay? No, no. We'll talk about that later, hon. Like, no, no. Oh, oh my goodness. Look how much this is a huge puddle. Wow. I was wondering if I'm in Watsonville, cuz I don't know if she's watching. I should maybe you should meet Nikki if you're catching this on the replay. I'm in Watsonville at a tournament and I'll be back at 10. I'll probably just call you. But the tournament doesn't start till 10, so I'm going back home. Um, and I'm glad it's not raining right now. Woo. So, yeah, sober sports mom. I'm not worried about getting my drink on. I'm not being selfish, just thinking about what's going on with my disease. Huh? Yes, it's called out. I have a disease. It's called alcoholism, but it's under arrest right now, and hopefully, it will forever be under arrest. So, yeah, this I don't think Watsonville wasn't damaged that bad. Oh, this is okay. I've not been over here in so long. Reflections. This is also part of my video. Yes, reflections. Sometimes my son tells me, like, when we drive down certain streets, I'll reflect and I'll start speaking about my ex when I go down a certain street. And I think it's because it's a street we used to go down all the time. I just like have this memory and I'll start talking about him. I guess this street also brings back memory because we used to go to these Burning Man events um, at Watsonville Fairgrounds, and it was like a a camping psychedelic like event for 3 days, and we went for several years and had a why I'm reflecting so much on my marriage. I think that I was doing that a lot yesterday. I was reflecting a lot about it. I feel like the holidays has something to do with it triggering I don't know, the past, thoughts of the past, things that happen. I know that but 2023, I really do not think I keep mentioning the mommies, but I don't think I'm watching them anymore. I don't think that I'm going to react. Actually, you know what? It's still up in the air because somebody wanted me to do a Chris and Jazz and all that, but they are just so low vibrational, and this is a hobby for me. When I first started this, I was like, I just need to talk to somebody about sobriety because I felt like I was the only one in the world trying to stop drinking. And I used to watch a lot of people, but they would stop at like 4 or 5 months, and then they'd come back at a year, then they'd come back when they've had a few years. And some people would share that they were into AA, and some people share, like, I have to be quite honest with you. Like, I go to meetings all the time. I try to work with a sponsor, but lately it hasn't been working out for me because of our schedules. But, I hear a lot of people say, my sponsor this, my sponsor that. And it's great if you can get a sponsor that works with your schedule or work with somebody with steps. It's hard to do the steps by yourself, but I don't know, maybe what I'll do is I'll start just talking about the steps on my channel. It's like, why not? I mean, I'll be talking about them. So let's just start right now as I'm driving home before I go back to this wrestling tournament. Okay. Step one, my life had become unmanageable. can't stop drinking out, like, or your life has become unmanageable. Your life is unmanageable because of you're gambling too much. You might be a gambler. You might do other hard drugs. You might be an alcoholic. I have someone in my family who has. I have a couple of gambling addiction people in my family. Um, Whatever you're doing that's unhealthy, that makes your life unmanageable. For me, it was alcohol. It was, this is how I knew that I was an alcoholic, when I couldn't stop thinking about the next drink. That's not natural. That is not a normal thing. If you're drinking and you're still thinking like, oh my gosh, when am I going to get my next drink? Like, that's a slow sign. That's a little sign that you may be alcoholic. If someone tells you about yourself, about an event or about an episode that you've had when you were drinking, your behavior, if it bothers you, that's a clear sign that you may be an alcoholic. If you black out a lot, I mean, I'm not going to say a lot. If you continuously are blacking out when you drink, or like, that's how you know that you have a problem with alcohol. If you do not know when to stop, if you feel like you got to get as much alcohol in your system before you even get to the bar, because the bar just doesn't have enough. One is too many, and 1,000 is never enough. I will never forget that. One is too many, and 1,000 is never enough. And so I feel like free. I feel so free because my body used to crave alcohol like every 3 to 4 hours. And the fact that I don't have to surrender to king, they say in AA, they call it king alcohol. I don't have to be a slave to king alcohol. It's so amazing. I thank God every day that I don't have to. And I just want to thank Keith Sanford out there, my pastor Keith, my brother. Thank you so much for your messages and your love and support all the way from Texas. I love you, brother. And your wife, Tawanda, thank you so much for all of your love and support. You know, when I was first starting to do reactions, I was getting caught up in like, oh yeah, I got more subscribers and all that stuff. But ultimately, I just feel like there's a season for everything. Even on YouTube, even on the way that I consume YouTube and Instagram and life, there's seasons. And I just feel like for me, the mommy season is over. Like, I wish all the women the best. There's so much that I feel like I could speak on when it comes to certain things, but I just want to move on from it. I'm good. So if you subscribe to me because you want to see me dress up as Olivia or as Hipster or Zolo, I don't know what to tell you. It might come randomly, but that's not my motivation to have this platform. And if I lose some subscribers because you don't like what I'm doing, happy New Year's in 2023. I do not desire to talk about Olivia Johnson, Chrissy, or any of those ladies. I think there's enough people talking about them. And I don't feel like I'm any better or any worse than these people. I just feel like I'm losing brain cells, like looking at these people. There's so many things that I could be doing in my life that's much better than watching and commentating on these women that are having whatever they're going through, period. Whether they are Keisha Kaylee, and at first I used to get offended, like when I would hear people say, oh, why are you reactors doing this? And it's like, hey, I'm not accusing anybody, because I used to be there. I used to be that person that would react and do skits and all that stuff, and that's good. Do that if that's what you do. That's your channel. I ain't gonna lie, I will still be watching my key reactors that I've always been watching. I may not always comment, but I'm watching here and there. But back to recovery. I never thought that I'd make 5 years at all. 5 years when I was 1 year, 5 years seemed like a dream, and now it's here. And I don't work a perfect program, meaning I I need to work with a sponsor. Came to believe that my life, wait, number one is my life became unmanageable. Number two is came to believe that a power greater than myself can restore me to sanity. And I love all the steps, but step one and step two, I'm powerless over alcohol, and my life had become unmanageable for decades. Number two, came to believe that a power greater than myself can restore me to sanity. And if you're having problems with figuring out if you're an addict or or if you're, addicted to alcohol, ask yourself, do you want to continue to live this way? And have you ever cried out, even if you don't believe, you don't know what you believe in, if you don't have a higher power of your understanding, do you ever feel like you needed to reach outside of you to, I I popped up on Misunderstood, not panel, but I went and checked out Misunderstood. And I was asked at one point what are my thoughts on Misunderstood. And then I did do a reaction on her at one point. And I thought that she possibly was under the influence. I had shared that was my reaction. And she put interesting commentary or whatever in the comments. And honestly, after she did that, I changed the title and I took her name out of the title. And I was just thinking, I mean, I know that there's, people commentate on people on the news or whatever, but I was just like thinking about, and I'm not caping or windmilling, Misunderstood, but she says that she's allegedly, over 100 and something days. Sobriety and recovery looks different on everybody. There's some people that think that accuse me of still being a drunk. They say that, and I do laugh a little. I laugh a little bit when I know the truth. And so, I could have jumped on the bandwagon of reacting on Misunderstood, saying that she's not sober. I don't know if she's sober or not. She chooses to share that with people. That's great. But I asked in her channel in the chat if she had a sponsor, and I shared with her that I go to online meetings. But am I going to jump up on her panel and talk with her about recovery? No, not unless that it seems like it's something I'm interested in. Am I going to do that to try to get numbers or something? No. But I reevaluated how I was going to probably react on her because, honestly, to me, I don't know. That could just be her attitude, her way of acting. I don't watch her all the time, but at the time when I watched her, I had my opinion at the time. But I just, as a person, as a fellow person in recovery, it's not up to me to judge her at all. It's not up to me to judge anybody, actually. But yeah, sobriety looks different on everybody. There's a lot that you have to work on. Oh my goodness. By the time we get home, it's going to be time to come back, Boogie. But I would love to go home for a little bit. I would love to go home. So we're going to go home for just a little bit, and then we're going to go back to the wrestling tournament. I did not want to sit out there for 2 hours. Thank God. So yeah, I'm just talking to you guys on the way back home, and then I'm going to go back out watch my son wrestle, and it looks like it's just starting to sprinkle a little bit. But yeah, it feels. Well, how do I feel now that I'm 5 years sober opposed to 5 years ago? I feel freedom. Um, I feel good. Glad that I don't have to worry about the next drink. So what did I go over? Step one, I am powerless over alcohol. That is a big important part of step one. Powerlessness. What are you powerless over? And if you are powerless, are you in denial of being powerless? I'll give you an example. And you know what? I know that you ain't gonna be mad that I'm talking about this. I'm not gonna say any names. So, I'll use myself as an example too. First, I'll use myself as an example. My second husband. No, maybe it was my first husband. Yeah, it was my first one. Yeah, he would tell me that I drink too much, and I'd be like, "What do you mean? I drink too much?" I didn't understand what he was saying, but if you listen to his words, he said, "You drink too much." I'm an intelligent woman. I know what that means. I just didn't like what he said. And so he elaborated and says, yeah, when you drink too much, you get a little crazy. And ultimately that ended in divorce. Okay. The second husband, he didn't complain about my drinking until probably, I don't know. He did. I'm lying. He did complain about my drinking, right? But then when I stopped drinking and I started to get into my recovery, we didn't have anything in common. It was the drinking that kept us that kept us together and tore us apart. And so now here I am, 42 years old, two failed marriages, three sons, in school. And if I had to ask myself, like, would you ever want to be with anyone again? If I had to answer that right now, no. I still need to heal for myself. I'm angry still. Why are you angry, Keisha? Well, I'm just angry because I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that I don't have to drink. It's weird. It's like I'm angry, but I'm happy at the same time. I'm happy that I have this freedom from alcohol, that I don't have to pick up a drink, but I still feel sad at times in my heart for the failed relationships and marriage, not marriages, but the failed marriage, the recent one. And I just feel like, gosh, if I would have had these tools in 2019, maybe, but then there, you know how it is, grieving, you go through all these stages, and you can even grieve marriages and divorce. You go through all these stages of, like, your what is it called? You're bargaining and accepting, and you go back, and you know, but ultimately, and this is a bargaining, I feel like my family, even though we're not a whole family, and I have the boys, and their father lives where he lives, and he's moved on. And I could express that in in a bitter way if I wanted to, but I'm growing. I'm growing. I could say so many things that would not change the situation, because all it would show is that I'm bitter, and that I'm upset, and that I'm hurt, and that I'm sad that the outcome is the way that it is. It's not going to change anything. Oh my gosh, look at all of that, Micah. Look at all of the trees that fell down. Do you see that? Oh my God. That is crazy. Wow. It is good to reflect. It is good to reflect and ask yourself, why do you feel like that? Why do you feel like that? And acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. It really is. Oh, thank God. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my phone on the charger and I'm going to go to an AA meeting because I feel like I need one. I was like, I'm just talking to this phone like I'm in an AA meeting. What was one of the topics? One of the topics of a meeting that I went to is, what are you doing today to stay sober? I guess that seems like it could be an easy one. Being honest, talking about it. Right before I hit this 5-year milestone, I have the desire to start drinking again. And it was over the stupidest thing. And I used to go to meetings and hear people share about them going back out. And I'd be like, how the hell would you do that? That's the stupidest thing. Why would that little thing make you want to go back to doing that? And simple, it's a disease. It's not something to just brush over. Oh yeah, it's because you're an alcoholic. No, it's a disease of the mind too. It really fucks with you. Excuse my language, because I know my family's watching from Facebook. Hey, Facebook family, you're gonna have to just, huh? Eyebrow raise. What do you mean? Yeah, it's serious to go to meetings, and to hear others experience strength and hope so that you know that you're not alone. And I guess I was going to give another example. There's the, example of the alcoholic. There's the alcoholic that's married and their spouse keeps complaining about their drinking, but they want to prove so much to not only to themselves but to others that they can drink safely. But they keep having these episodes. They keep having these same behavioral patterns that's tearing the family apart. You know, I would have to say this. If I reflect on my marriage, I'm even though we are not together, we're better apart, and our children have better parents that now that we're not under one roof. We didn't work well together, and I guess that could either be bargaining or acceptance. But I just feel like we're living better, and I do see families, and sometimes I'll get triggered because I was a biracial couple. I'll see biracial couples or biracial family, and I'm like, oh, or an old biracial couple here in Santa Cruz, and I'll be like, oh, that could have been us. But it's not. And I don't have to drink about it anymore. And I don't have to fight about it. We don't have to yell about it. We could be honest that it didn't work and it is what it is. There's so much more I want to say, but I got my child. I guess that massage place is open. I need to treat myself to a massage. I'm all about something right now. Okay, we're going to be here for about 25 minutes, okay? Actually, longer than that. My car clock is faster than time. It's like an hour faster. It's only 8:37, Micah. Did you know that? What? Yeah. We got here quick. Uh, oh, he got the new doggy. The cabin. I'm surprised that this StreamYard stayed on for the whole time. It's a pretty good phone. Yeah, I'm so glad we left because it's only 8:38. We would have been there for a long time. We'll leave at 9:30, okay? Oh, I feel so happy that like I'm gonna make us some food. Everybody's out right now. I thought Novell was gone. Huh? No, he's still here, but there's parking for us. Listeners, listen up. You'll be amazed before you're halfway through. You're going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. You will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. You will comprehend the word serenity, and you will know peace. No matter how far down the scale you've went, you'll see how your experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. You will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in your fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Your whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. I'm gonna open the door for you. Fear of people and economic insecurity will leave you. You will
leave my jacket in here because we're gonna come down.
Yeah, you intuitively handle situations which used to
close the door.
Yeah, I'll close it. Which used to baffle you. You will suddenly realize that God is doing for you which you cannot do for yourself. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They're being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They'll always materialize if we work for them. Work, 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 work. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Yeah, I'm just freestyling this live. I'm just talking about, reflections. Happy to be a sober sports mom. Happy to be able to support him and his brothers and all of their endeavors. It's a great thing. Oh, I'm exhausted. But it's okay. We get a little break. Go back out there. I'm gonna get my AA book. Okay. What time do you go to work? Yeah, he doesn't start wrestling until 10. So it's like, I didn't want to sit out there for 2 hours. So I came back. It's worth it. It's worth it to come home and chill. Yeah. Yeah, it only took me like 20 minutes to get there. I'm gonna leave here at like 9:30. 45 minutes. It is what it is. Let me get this book. Don't forget to hit that like button. Talking about recovery up in here. So if you don't want to hear about it, don't know what to say. That's what I'm talking about, recovery. So I'm going to read step 1 out of the NA book. We admitted we were powerless over our addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable. Oh, good morning. Good morning, Dragon. It doesn't matter what or how much we used in Narcotics Anonymous or drink in AA. Staying clean has to come first. We realize that we cannot use drugs and live. When we admit our powerlessness and our inability to manage our own lives, we open up the door to recovery. No one could convince us that we were addicts or alcoholics or all of the above. It is an admission that we have to make for ourselves. It's an admission we have to make for ourselves. When some of us have doubts, we ask ourselves this question: can I control my use of any form of mind altering chemicals, or can I control my use of alcohol? I know for me personally, happy Sunday to you too. How are you doing today, my friend? I'm doing okay. And you? I'm doing okay as well. I'm doing fantastic. You know why I'm doing fantastic? Because I'm sober today and I don't have to take a drink over anything. And that's why I'm fantastic today. Thank you for asking. I hope you have a wonderful day today. So if you've ever have you ever asked yourself, am I drinking too much, or can I handle it, or should I take a break, or let's continue. Most addicts will see that control is impossible the moment it is suggested. Yeah. So I used to do this thing where I was like, okay, I'm just gonna drink 6 shots. I would limit my drinks at the bar. I'm like, okay, I'm only going to drink 6 shots at the bar. That's it. Only 6. And then 6 would be 26. 6 would be 26, and it just wouldn't work out. This would clearly suggest that an addict has no control over drugs. Powerlessness means using drugs against our will. A lot of people think that it's a will thing, and it's not a will thing. If it was a will thing, I would not choose to be an alcoholic. I would never want this for anybody. It's not fun. You have to remind yourself every day, because you might entertain something that can kill you. And so, for me, I was entertaining it a couple of weeks before my milestone because the teacher triggered me. And it's the only person that can take it away from you is you. No one, of course people can trigger you, but you are the one. No one is going to put that drug to wherever your choice of taking your drug, whether it be, alcohol or whatever. It's up to you. You make that choice. People could probably make you, like I said, trigger you, but we still stumble into this fellowship, briming with love, honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. So I just want to say welcome to the newcomer that's listening. Welcome to the newcomer that's listening on the replay that doesn't know if they have a problem. Welcome to the person who has someone in their family that struggles with alcoholism or chemical dependency or mental health. Welcome. This is a safe place for you to listen. Okay. Step 2. We came to believe that our power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. If you don't think that you can restore yourself to sanity, like sometimes there would be days when I'm like, oh God, I just need a bottle of wine. I just need this bottle of wine. And then, this bottle of wine is going to restore me to sanity. It never did, because I needed 2, then 3, then I needed recovery day. And then it was a vicious cycle. The second step is necessary if we expect to achieve ongoing recovery. The first step leaves us to need to believe in something that can help us with our powerlessness, uselessness, and helplessness. Yeah. And oftentimes addicts feel useless, powerlessness, and helpless. The powerlessness comes because you can't stop. You don't know how to stop. You feel useless because what good are you to yourself or to anybody else? And then there's the hopelessness, because you can't get out of it. The first step has left a vacuum in our lives. We need to find something to fill that void. This is the purpose of sound. This is the purpose of the second step. Let me put on some glasses, Lord Jesus. Okay. I don't have any eyelashes on, but who cares? Who cares? Where is... Okay. I'm glad that I'm thinking about talking about recovery. I'm going to continue because I know that it's going to help somebody out there. So step 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Now, this is the step 3 is where I'm stuck at. I worked step 3 with a sponsor. We made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. And that means like, God, I can't do it. I need you now. That's what step 3 is all about. Like, I'm giving it all up to you, God. And there's been so many times in my life where I'm saying that I'm going to give it up to God, and I never really meant it. I just said it. I didn't mean it. But December 31st of 2017, when I was drinking over and over and over again, and I asked God to help me, because I could not do it by myself, and I felt like I was going to drink myself to death. So on December 31st of 2017, I had my last drink at 5:30 in the afternoon or evening. And then I remember looking at the bottles at like 8:00, and I just was so tired and sick, and I was so disgusted with myself. I was like, this isn't fun. It wasn't fun. I felt ill, and I asked God to save me. Thank God. Step 3, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. And so that day, my relationship with God was personal for the first time at the time, 37. I was 37 years old at the time. I was 37. Mm-hmm. Oh, so this is completely random, but I tried to wash this semi-permanent gray out of my hair, but it did not wash out. And I'm kind of happy that wait, let me clean my camera. Let me clean my camera. I love gray hair. I can't wait till all of my hair turns gray if I'm blessed enough to have the silver hair. Camera slip. Okay, hold on. Oh well. This way. Yeah, it didn't wash out. But it's okay. Yeah, when I get older, I'm never gonna dye my hair ever. Woo. Okay, back to yeah, I'm not camera ready. So step 3, we made a decision to turn our will. Yeah, so this is where I'm at. So I completed step 3, and step 4 is where a lot of people in recovery get stuck. Okay, we made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Okay, this one right here is difficult. The purpose of a searching and fearless moral inventory is to sort through the confusion and the contradictions of our lives so that we can find out who we really are. We are starting a new way of life and need to be rid of the burdens that traps, that controlled us, and that prevented our growth. Yeah, it's really good to do a step 4. I need to do step 4. I need to do all of them, but I completed up to step 3, and I've just gone to meetings over them. But I really, and some people do a really in-depth step 4, like they'll do not just a inventory, but they'll do things like a sexual inventory, an employment inventory, a friendship inventory, nutritional inventory, you know. And then step 5, we admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact natures of our wrongs. Yeah, after I heard a lot of alcoholics share in AA, I really wanted to do 5th steps. I mean, I know you can't 1-2 step, but just being introduced to these steps, it feels really good to share with someone else the exact nature of your wrongs. You know, even if you don't think that they're a big deal after hearing a lot of war stories in the AA rooms, you know. So the 5th step is the key to freedom. The 5th step is the key to freedom. It allows us to live clean in the present. Sharing the exact nature of our wrongs sets us free to live. After taking a thorough 4th step, and I'm laughing at that because I'm like, I need to take a thorough 4th step for sure. I need one. And that's okay. I'm just really gonna immerse myself into recovery and my studies like I've been doing, and nothing else. My kids were encouraging me. They're like, Mom, just stop doing reactions. It takes too much out of you, or stop doing parodies. And you know what? That's just not my focus. But like I said, I appreciate everyone who's subscribed to my channel. Thank you for the support. But what I think is best for my mental health and recovery is to not be a people pleaser. And I'm going to talk about recovery, going to do my workouts, share with you guys the hair products that I use. And that's it. So yeah. Please hit that notification bell, like, and subscribe. I really appreciate the support. So yeah, so 5th step. Step 6. we were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. What is a defect of character that you have that you would love God to remove? I'll let you know what mine is. One of my defects of character is always having to have the last word, even if it's the last like expression in an argument or a conversation, or just always having to have the last word. I've asked God to remove that defect of my character because it's exhausting to always have to have the last word, even with your children. so so I've asked for God to remove that defect of character, and and I've lied. I used to lie. I asked God to remove that defective character. It's like I used to lie about my drinking. Um, you know, I mean, I don't even have to talk on it. Like, well, no, I will. That's why I used to think that it was really funny, but that people would say that I'm still drinking. And it's like, no, you would know if I was drinking. Oh my God. It would be horrible. I had a dream that I relapsed, and it wasn't good. It was not good. So I'm grateful that that was just a dream. Step 7, character defects or shortcomings. Oh no, 7, humbly ask him to remove our shortcomings. Now, step 7 and step 6, they seem a little similar. 6, we were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. Let's read 7. We humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. Yeah, character defects and shortcomings are those things that cause pain and misery to our lives. If they contributed to our health and happiness, we would not have such a state of desperation. We would have to become ready to have God, as we understood him, remove these defects. Having decided that we want God to relieve us of uselessness or destructive aspects of our personalities. Yeah. By admitting this, we've achieved a glimpse of humility. This is the main ingredient of step 7, humility. Humility is a result of getting honest with ourselves. Yeah, that's true. Humility. And I guess I'll bring it back to YouTube, because I really like to make things really, I guess, transparent. So a lot of people are talking about people striking people on YouTube. And I've striked Erica Kelly Vlogs, I think, a couple of years ago. I don't know if it resulted in her losing her channel. I think she still has her channel. But I had to ask myself, why did I strike at Erica Kelly Vlogs and Storm? Why did I strike them when they were, making fun of my recovery? It's because I was humiliated at the time. And it humiliated me that someone was making fun of my drinking or my recovery, and I wasn't that person. But so what I would say a shortcoming is, from the result of me striking Storm, I striked her and Erica Kelly Vlogs. Hi, Erica. Erica. Sorry, I'm talking about Erica right now. Tiffy, baby. Hey, sweetheart. It's because I was humiliated and I felt humility. So step 7 is we humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. In step 6, we are entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. So I would say one of my defects of character would be when I'm embarrassed or I'm upset, I guess I would try to do something back, try to get some get back or something, like revenge or rebuttal. I don't know. Um, because I'm not going to say that the strikes weren't justified, but they didn't have to happen. Like under the community guidelines, yeah, I striked them, but the but the reason behind the strike is what I have to ask myself, why did I do it? You know, and it's because of a shortcoming that I need to ask to remove. We are entirely ready to have God remove our defects of character. I could have just let it be there, you know, but I didn't. And it is what it is. So, but yeah, I have a lot to work on still with myself, and that's okay. Um, 8. We made a list. Now, this would be a very long list for me. A lot of us. I mean, because listen to this. We made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. Um, yeah, that's a good one that needs to be happening a lot. But what I love is the one that you could just do right on the spot. And that is, I believe, step 9. Step 9, we made direct, oh, I did this a lot with my kids. We made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. Okay, now let me tell you about this. I don't know if she's watching, but I shared with my platform, that I had a friend that used to be my drinking bitch buddy, and she's my next door neighbor, the one that unfortunately, she was drinking and driving with her kids in the car, the one that physically, when she was like 350 plus pounds, I mean, I'm not fat shaming her. I'm just letting you get an idea of this girl's bigness. Okay. She attacked me in my home in front of my children after I tried to serve her with some legal papers, right? So that's where step 9 comes in. Made a direct amends to such people whenever possible, except to do so would injure them or others. Okay. So if I do not apologize at all. Actually, I'm going to say this. I do apologize. I apologize for getting involved when her baby's daddy came to me and asked me to serve her. I should have said no. However, it didn't give her the right to put hands on me in my home. But it doesn't justify that, it wasn't okay for me to do that, even though I had my concerns, like many of us have here on these YouTube streets. We have these concerns of mothers doing maybe putting harm to their children. I shouldn't have got involved, and so that's what I have to say about that. But yeah, there is no but after that. So going to step 9, may direct amends to such people whenever possible, except to do so would injure them or others. If I were to go to her to make this direct amends, it would injure them or others, because she wouldn't receive it. So the only way to keep the peace is to make a living amends, and we stay out each other's way. Step 10, which I guess I'm kind of like doing this in this whole live. Step 10, we continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. This could just be you could have a stank ass attitude towards somebody, and you realize you need to really my grandmother used to say, pull your coattail. I need to pull your coattail. There's, like for instance, me, I know that the monthly visitor is going to approach me pretty soon. Okay. And when my monthly visitor approaches, I don't do well like 5 to 6 days before. Okay. So I warn my home. I'm like, look, so I don't have to do any wrongly promptly admit that I'm wrong. I'm just gonna let you guys know. But I let them know, like, let me tell you something, you guys. I'm doing a personal inventory and mom isn't going to be too nice, but I'm going to try my best. So before that happens, so I don't have to do a whole bunch of apologies and a bunch of step 10s, I just try to do a lot of self-care on myself. So I guess that was my example for step 10. Step 11. Ooh, I like this one. We sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. I'm all over the place with this. That's okay. So I'm gonna talk about the steps more. I'm just gonna log on here and start talking about the steps and reading about them. Step 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to addicts and alcoholics and practice these principles in all our affairs. Great. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to get out of here and just relax before I have to get on the road again. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful Sunday. Thank you for your support. If you're out there and you're struggling with alcoholism or you know someone that is, or drug dependency, I will do my best to put the national hotline in the description box below. Love you. Be true to yourself. God bless. Take care. Goodbye.